Road, show on the road, and countdown, red bat. All right, 5, 4, 3.
Not too exciting now.
1. Are we live?
Yeah!
Yeah!
Batos Lokos! Podcast!
Don't show the guests yet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here. This is the Batos Lokos podcast. On my right, my co-host, the Grand Bat.
And
on my left, my other co-host, the Black Bat.
And Red Bat really quick. And let's welcome our studio audience!
Yay!
You show the guests already.
We have Grand Bat Tiger Mask over there. And then we have George Hermosa, the hater. He is the creator of the Wrestling Chatter.
Oh, and you can see the sponsored banner right there.
Yes, also GXW, which they don't bring the banner no more, but I guess they're not pointing though. We're using the Facebook book.
Oh, here, it's in the car. Go get it.
And then we have our special guest for tonight.
Our special guest!
Legendary referee, SoCal Referree.
One of the Godfathers.
Legendary.
Godfathers.
Slammers, SCCW, XPW, and Wrestling CX.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr.
And back XPW
3.0. PWG.
3.0.
Nobody calls it that.
It's not. Nobody calls that.
Nobody calls it that.
No, it's XPW.
Oh, okay.
Patrick
That was 3.0.
Hernandez. Thank you.
Yeah!
Patrick, I would like to say.
Oh, finally! Someone raising his hand in victory.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So Patrick, let me just say something that you were our number one referee, but unfortunately, Danny Montes Ramirez sold me this shirt straight from the show of XPW for $50. Isn't that great? Yeah, $50.
Whoa, Black Bat. Wait a minute.
Is that Canadian dollars?
$50?
Yeah, what happened? It's $100.
$50? Are you sure about that?
I gave him $50 in this shirt.
No.
Did you buy the finger hook?
Wait.
I hate to break it to you, but
Listen up, pal.
I've seen it for 10.
What? Oh, that son of a bitch! He sold it for half.
Who sold you?
Danny Montici, that short fat guy.
The referee?
That one we thought was number one, now he's number 0. Patrick, congratulations, you are the new number 1 referee here at Batos Loco.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you know what? That guy, Danny Monchi Ramirez, he's been ripping people off left and right at XPW, at Puto Rasu, and also, we saw him at the zebra shirt. You think, the referee,
Yeah.
but he looked like the size of a hippo, but he had the zebra colors.
He ripped me off too. He sold me a lottery ticket. Said it was only used once.
Oh, boy.
Hey, you know what, too? He sold me some used condoms. He said he washed them, right? He used bleach. And I used them, and I got 3 kids.
That's not the first we're going to hear from this guy. And,
Anyways.
that's not the last either.
So welcome, Patrick Hernandez. It's a pleasure to have the number 1 referee in what is considered the SoCal...
West of the Mississippi River.
Considered the godfather of SoCal wrestling, you along with the other slammers.
Okay.
And that name given to you and the rest of the guys from himself, Ed Ferreira.
Oh!
Okay. Thank you.
Wow!
Thank you for the info, guys. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me. And, yeah, I mean, that's one heck of an intro.
And you know what, Pat? No, we'd like to give a shout out to the bomb. And unfortunately, we had Tristan to be a help. But right now he's in the hospital because somebody gave him a spoonful and now he's in the hospital.
spoonful. He had like a tiny taste.
There goes the fans talking. The fans are not supposed to be talking.
Refrain from talking.
The fans are not supposed to be talking. But anyways.
Studio audience, the worst.
Mr. Hernandez, thank you for being part of our show.
Legendary.
I'm sure we have a lot of questions for you. And I guess the classic question, Mr. Hernandez, when was Mr. Patrick Hernandez a wrestling fan? When did it start for you?
It started with my grandfather.
Your grandfather was a wrestler?
And he was just... No, not quite. He could have been. He was pretty tall.
Samoan, Mexican, white guy, what?
All of the above. I would go pay visits to him.
You had to
as
pay
a
to
little
see your
boy,
uncle?
and he would start watching championship wrestling, and I would sit there with him, watch him, and then he would watch matches from Mexico, and he had all the magazines, and I guess yes.
Did he have a favorite?
Were there any dirty magazines?
That I think I've ever heard him.
Stop asking good
mention
questions. Ask some dumb ones. Go
about
ahead.
which wrestler he liked or did not. Dude, I started watching it on my own, and
Care
I
about wrestling,
remember watching, what was it, the Samoans, the
Oh,
Wild Samoans,
yeah.
and how
We might even
everyone
have some
just-
here.
Just say, yeah,
But they're useless.
That's gonna be the battle royal later.
Oh!
But the Wild Samoans, I started watching them on TV, and Superfly Jimmy Snuka.
Super fly.
But what really got me was with when they started. They power drove Snuka on the concrete. It was Ray the Crippler Stevens.
Yes, sir.
And Captain Lou Albano.
Yes, sir.
And I remember he's bleeding on television and it had a big red X on the screen. And,
Censored.
And that's when I was hooked. I just thought, this is.
How old
this
were
is
you
good
at
stuff.
that
This
moment?
is-
So
this is real.
you got hooked watching something that you actually couldn't see that hooked you.
Yes.
That's
Chaos,
right.
How old were you when this happened?
I can show you Red X and tell you it's anything. You
It's
watch
anything.
it.
That's right. And
No,
I'm
back then
hooked.
it was different. Yeah, back then
It's
it
a
was-
joke, Red Band. It's not literal.
It's a joke.
It's a
chiste.
joke.
It's a joke.
It's a
Chiste.
joke.
That's busting your balls.
joke,
He's busting your
man.
balls. It's not real.
Not a
It's
red-
like a creative.
Where's the Red X?
That's a red X. How old were you?
$50 though.
Hey man, you got. Hey, pal,
Okay.
you know what, Black
Oh,
Man?
my gosh.
You got swindled.
That Danny and that Chris Club, I'm telling you, a bunch of morons. I tell you, when I see him, I'm asking for my $40 back. Plus, I use your money from your wallet, so.
That's good. What?
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, how old were you?
That's a new story now.
How old were you, Patrick?
Like around 11.
Can I call you Pat, P, Mr. Hernandez? Or what?
Sure, whatever.
Are you
were
related
11
to
when
Around 11.
I want to break this thing saying that. Are you related to Jesse Hernandez?
No, sir.
Told you he wasn't just because of Hernandez.
But he's a great referee, though. He's a great referee. He's legendary.
Oh,
I remember going to the sports arena and I would see Jesse referee.
Yeah.
He's
LA
literally
Sports
done it
Arena?
all.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
sir.
Did a lot of people? You became a ref, synonymous in Southern California. When you became synonymous as being one of these guys, that was
A lot of the workers thought we were related.
Assumptions.
And which is fine,
Did you work for ESPN?
he's just legendary, and he also was a wrestler. He used to wrestle in the AWA and
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But to be included with him, I mean, it's flattering.
The wrestling movie, all those greats. Alex Knight, he had a big Hall of Fame ceremony. One of our studios.
Plus, I heard
Oh,
also
that's a
that
gilf.
you, Patrick Hernandez, had beef with somebody from ESPN.
ESPN.
That was a podcast was saying that he's Law Hernandez. I forgot what the guy's name is.
You actually invite Luscious
That's a new one.
That's a false.
Now, speaking of Jesse Hernandez, confused of the family, did Jesse Hernandez, was there any ill will on his part? Whoa. I thought I was the number one Hernandez ref in SoCal.
No, nothing like that.
All right.
Was there a Mexican stare down?
The battle of the
nothing like that.
Hernandezes.
Nothing like. Honestly, I've ran into Jesse numerous times at different wrestling functions.
Well, that's not funny.
I
You can't make fun of his weight.
I have
You
a
ran
lot
into
of
him.
respect for him, and he's had a lot of respect for me, and it's always been professional. So.
I remember that's not fair to make fun of his weight. Saying you ran into him. You gotta respect him more like that.
Well, okay. Well, I apologize.
Don't talk bad about fat people when there's fat people in front.
Again, $50 though.
Oh yeah, you know how many cheeseburgers he could have got?
No, there's a special that in and out couple. How'd you start? No, I'm talking to the fans, please.
Hernandez.
Hey, how'd you start training or where did you
Audience
train?
members don't ask questions.
I owe it to the Samoan Kid first of all, because he's a very good friend of mine. He started. Thank you.
Otherwise known in XPW as Pancho Quila's Switchblade.
Oh, Poncho Killer too. Poncho Killer.
He
Yeah.
almost killed Jake Lawless one night.
And you know what?
that's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Plus, on the first XPW show, he almost killed.
We
Jake
also
Lawless.
had police officers show up backstage.
Oh yes.
Right? And
Because of the whole switchblade.
Because he's
incident.
Mexican.
and we do one show and the turnbuckle got ruined.
Yes,
Tell us this
that was it.
Switchblade story.
Wait, I want to know how I got into wrestling.
No, all
don't be a mark.
All
Yeah,
I
don't mark
know-
me now. Don't be a
all I
mark.
know is
It's like
that
a joke, come on.
switchblade was just stuck on that turnbuckle. And
Right
he had-
through it, like
and
going
we had
like
a
this.
tough time trying to take it out. But yeah, that was something that
You understand what a tough time means?
quite memorable.
It's like
that
when you don't
night.
get a joke. It's the same thing.
With police showing up afterwards.
Did he have warrants?
Yeah.
Was he really Mexican?
Probably.
Was he
I mean,
gang
Punch a
related?
killer. Come on.
Oh, I thought it was
Who
tequila.
doesn't?
So how
That
did you
was the
start?
first show, right?
I believe so.
So Samoan Kid, real name,
Oscar.
Oscar Meyer? How you know his real
It ain't
name?
Farmer John either, pal. Come on.
Oscar what?
Cesena.
Just that. And he brought you to where?
Slammers.
Is he related to John
trained-
Cesena?
Yes.
You can't see him. So then,
So pretty much Oscar trained at Slammers.
Slammers,
And,
what's that?
became a professional wrestler. It was out in Sun Valley. It was like the only wrestling school at the time.
what year was
That
this? 2000,
credible.
2010?
Like around maybe 90.
90, yeah, you're old.
91.
How old are you?
Yes, I'm antique-ish.
Is that when
yes.
Slammers started?
Yeah, me.
That I don't know if it happened, if it was open during that time. But he
So you're talking about
trained
1992.
probably
yeah, same
around
year I was
91. But he got me into it. They had a referee. They were doing shows.
Who was the ref?
And Danny Ramirez was the
Wait a minute. I
was
thought,
the
I,
referee.
I
That's
thought,
the guy that ripped you off, man.
I thought, wait a minute. Then,
told me that
I thought it was a guy named Joaquin Colombo.
Technically, Danny Ramirez was one of the very first SoCal referees.
But I thought, I read it was Joaquin Colombo.
Oh,
Are they the same people?
Maybe.
Wait a minute. Was he illegal?
Maybe that's his twin brother, maybe.
Whoa, Joaquin Colombo.
And that's another story for another time. But anyhow, they were short a referee.
Yeah, because he was short.
There you go. They needed a ref. And since I was already going to the shows,
Sorry, Patrick. You know Jack?
Hey, you know what, Black Bat? It's a good thing we didn't have more people here because you didn't want there to be distractions
Jack,
from
how
Patrick.
about some Jack and Coke? How about that?
Oh, so wait a minute.
This is sponsored by Jack and
some
Coke.
of that.
Let's clear the record.
Jack and Coke.
We don't want to give credit where credit isn't due. So, Danny or
Let's have another
Jaquim.
drink.
Let's have another.
So, Danny or slash Jaquim Colombo, he didn't train you, right? He didn't.
No, sir.
See, there you go. I told you. He's a liar. Danny says.
Boom! Let's have another one.
Danny Montes, says that he trained you. So that's not real, right? He didn't.
No.
That freaking liar.
So who was first as ref? You or Danny Monchichi?
He just said.
It was
Jaquim Colombo.
Jack Lee. Jack Lee?
Really?
Jaquim,
Wow.
Jaquim.
This is going to be news to a lot of
Yeah.
people.
That is news.
Yes.
That's news to me.
Yes.
I
And
think what happened is he owed a lot of people
came-
money, so he changed
I
his name.
came after
Stupid.
him once he left. And like I said, all the boys already knew me already. I was always at the shows and pretty much, at the time I was playing a lot of baseball, high school, college ball, and yet Dynamite D approached me.
Dynamite D,
and-
was he explosive?
And he was just, hey, you know what? We need a referee. The athletic ability that you have, you play baseball, again, because of Samoan Kid. And honestly, I didn't want to do it.
Are you very athletic?
I was happy being a fan and supporting the guys, supporting my friend, the Samoan Kid, and that just wasn't for me. I was too focused with my schooling and my baseball, but then, it was just one of those things that my
was the
friend
calling.
told me.
The calling
It's like,
called
you know
you.
what? This is an opportunity. You just might be good at it. You might have fun with it. And then, sure enough, I went to a workout and all the guys from Slammers, Dynamite D, Ed Ferrara, Tyrone Tiny
Ed
Little.
Ferrara. Is that the guy who also was for WWE?
Bruce Bodine. Beautiful Bruce Bodine. Yes,
Beautiful
that's
Bruce
right.
Bodine.
But that's the same guy who worked for WWE, right?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right.
As Ed Ferreira.
Ed Ferrara and with
Vince Russo.
Vince Russo. That's right.
Vince Russo was in Slammers too?
No. That's who he worked with.
Oh, you were.
Calm down, Rip Black.
Quick
Bat, calm
question,
down.
not wrestling related. How far did you get into college baseball? Did you get close to going to the pros, or
Did you get on third base?
The
Or did you go all the way?
closest I played semi-pro
yes, sir?
after.
Did you go all the way,
JC.
or did you go on third base?
Third base. Playing the
Yeah.
But
sorry about these guys.
Oh God, nothing slow. I swear to God, it's not.
We're sponsored by Jack and Coke, by the way. Jack and Coke.
And by Sesame Street, or Mr. Rogers, some kids over here.
Yes, we babysit kids. Now you were saying, Mr. Hernandez, before we're in trouble about some kids. Go ahead.
No, I played ball for a
What
long
position?
time.
Let me guess. Catcher.
No, sir.
Damn, I'm never
Sorry.
guessing right.
Good guess, but close, but no cigar.
Oh! Run, everybody!
We
My
got-
wife
we
home!
got-
Run! Ah, no,
We
hey,
have
over
more
here.
studio audience. More. They're
Congratulations.
scalping tickets out there.
I got my security guard.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are in Selma. We're getting shot at. We're live. There's a bunch of cholos here. Not related to me, Grandpa.
Get him.
Oh my God!
Get him.
Hey, my highness here.
Security.
Security.
I thought it was dangerous before when there was a suspicious character running down
Call me
the street.
later. That's you. Get it. And buy. Hey, can you buy? No, I was kidding. Hey, can you bring me the bottle? Hey, so we were saying, Carlitos, when you want something to drink, don't drink this. Now back to our guest, Patrick Hernandez.
Where were we?
Baseball.
Baseball. You went all the way and got to third base. Yeah. You still have a number?
But then just the wrestling,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, I guess I guess a
captivated,
calling.
captivated.
Yeah.
I took to it.
How did wrestling get your number?
The guys trusted me,
Yeah.
and you know, once I finished the training, Slammers went on the road, and I made my debut in Bakersfield at Strongbow Stadium.
Bakersfield.
And I was the only referee.
Oh, for the whole show.
And every Thursday night. And see, at that time, I really didn't know that, okay, other referees, you know, I was still kind of learning.
Don't they
But
call
every
it- don't they
every
call it
Thursday
blue
night, I was
when you're-
all by myself, and
Steven
I guess
Hernandez.
learned the hard way. Yes, sir.
When you're new, don't they say that you're blue when you're new?
Green.
Yes.
Oh, green.
Yes, that too.
So yellow.
Blue and green.
But yellow and blue.
But again, it was.
And if you
it
don't
was
follow
a
the rules,
trust-
you're black and blue.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Speaking of black, you see a black guy running down the street?
Oh, very scary time.
Anyways, so then what happened? So Bakersfield, huh? How did your show go?
Great shows at Bakersfield every Thursday night. Samoan Kid and I would travel up there every Thursday night, and I was the only referee. And
Was there an indie wrestler at the time named Italian Stallion?
that I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe in Rocky or something.
So Patrick Hernandez, how does it feel? How does it feel for you to be considered a part of the other guys from Slammers, to be considered the godfathers of SoCal wrestling?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's flattering.
The name given to by Ed Ferreira himself.
I mean, that's flattering too. Ed means a lot to me. And
But if you think about it, you guys are.
those guys at Slammers, from Dynamite D and Tyrone Tiny Little, Hombre de Oro, and I mean, you know, I owe it all to those guys and the Samoan Kid especially. You know, I mean, who
But
knows?
you're part of that too.
Yeah, you're part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A round of applause for the godfather of SoCal wrestling.
Referee Matt West, senior official, west of Mississippi.
Thank
A
you.
number one ref here at Batos Lokos.
So, Red Bat, you're asking some very interesting questions.
Yes.
Of course, this is the host.
Nice
of
to
the
meet you.
Batos
Nice
Red
meeting
Bat.
you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.
And,
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Sure.
$50.
How
are you?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Mason Storm.
Yes. Shake his hand. Say nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Peace be with
Nice to
you.
meet you.
Peace be
Nice to
with
meet
you.
you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Peace be with you.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, stop it. Okay, you were saying? Hey, nice to meet you, by the way.
So,
Nice
so
to meet
this
you.
is Slammers Wrestling Gym. Very interesting. But
Wait, wasn't the owner name?
Vern Langdon. Now, Vern Langdon eventually, a little parting of the old seas.
What do you mean by that,
And a
Grandpa?
little friction coming into play. Whereas Slammers Wrestling Federation, Slammers Gym, did not see eye to eye with some of these stars of Slammers. And those stars went off. Whew,
Well, there's
they
a
created their
rumor.
own entity.
But there's a rumor.
Yes, that's
There's a
true.
rumor. There's a great rumor that's saying, I don't know if it's true, that the NWO took the idea from this, what Grandpa was about to mention. The what?
The
DWO.
That's right.
Is that
Yes.
true?
The timeline's
Maybe.
foggy.
Maybe. I couldn't tell you.
I remember DWO because I was just a little kid. I was like maybe 2 years. Remember we were like 3 years old. Remember we got together and Grandpa.
In the treehouse.
Yeah, the treehouse.
That's why we kept trying to hang upside down, kept following me. Like, you're not a true bat yet until you can hang.
Yeah,
But we did hang the neighbor's cable line and we got to see all the footage.
yeah. And remember that black guy was hanging next to us, but that's a different story.
Oh, scary times.
Anyway,
That's in Gravity Hills.
Scary times.
yeah, his grandpa, the black folks.
Scary times.
Yeah, we saw the video. That's an awful thing to say. But hey, we got cable for free with the black box. Anyway,
Sponsored by Coke. Do whatever it
takes.
Whatever means necessary.
So DWO was first, and then NWO. That's kind of what we remember.
Sure. Why not?
Wow.
Why not?
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here.
It's legendary now.
The DWO, which stands for Dynamite
World Order.
World Office.
Order?
Nothing. They already ate.
I have a small slammer story. When I was in high school, about 1996, I had the wrestling almanac.
You were born in 92. I can be in
82. I was born in 82. That years, I'm like 100 something.
Yes,
it's true. So 1996, I had the wrestling almanac.
Me too.
It said wrestling schools, and I was looking for some in California, and it said Slammers. I think it said Van Nuys or Sun Valley or something.
Sun Valley or Studio C.
Yeah.
Oh, the hell time
And
the
I was like, oh, when I turn 18, I'm gonna call them. I turned 18, called, phone's ringing. Nobody answered, and then I gave up. And I was like, that's it. I thought that was it. Like,
Speaking of almanac,
yeah.
I do recall reading Hombre de Oro's name, and I think there was two guys named Hombre de Oro and Dynamite.
I want to say Dynamite, and I want to say Movie Star Mike.
Oh, so it wasn't Hombre de Oro. I think
no,
so. Cause
Hombre de Oro was.
He was on it.
Yes,
and same with some guy named the Gargoyle.
That's right.
Which I remember was horrible wrestler. Horrible.
Ugly looking.
And he made it. So there were 4 Slam alumni that made it to
but took a beating though.
Lived up to the name, the Gargoyle.
Yeah, I saw a video of Dynamite D going like a mean looking, and he made Gargoyle open his mouth and right in his mouth, and that guy ate it.
You know what? Very true. I remember those.
Did you ref that match?
I remember those shows. Those are that's the absolute truth.
So
then what happened? Slammers, you did Slammers, and then what? What was after Slammers? SCCW?
SCCW.
Wait a minute. Back at SCCW, Thomas, ask him the story about the Honky Tonk Man. I don't believe that's true.
Is it true that at UCLA at SCCW Slamfest 98, that one half of the New Age Hillbillies, Pete Hatfield, approached a nude, naked, bathing Honky Tonk Man in the shower and asked him at that point in time for his autograph with a pen and pad?
Wait a minute, he was taking a shower butt naked?
Honky Tonk was taking a shower, and one of the wrestlers walked in to him while the shower was going. Yeah, can I have your autograph, Mr. Man, Mr. Tonk Man?
Very, very true.
That's true.
We love Pete Hatfield though.
Oh yeah,
he's great.
Well, we weren't supposed to mention names, but way to go! Must not be really white because the white guy just ratted you out. Anyways, so then what happened? SCCW, and then. What's the other one? ECW? What was the other promotion?
I started.
XCW.
Again, I really didn't know much as far as there's more work out there. I just started getting bookings and traveling, and I started.
Hey, he's talking.
Was it?
He's attracted to me. That's why the camera's on me.
One of the shows that I would do was out in Sun Valley, and
Don't get distracted, Patrick.
SCCW, but one of my big breaks was with Yokozuna and Fatu. I started doing shows for them up in Sacramento.
Oh wow! How was the fans, the audience in Sacramento? Are the fans now as they were back then, or different?
Not different.
Well, how, like better?
It's just I don't know. It's like more passionate, maybe.
Right? Huh?
You know.
What was Yokozuna's name at that time?
Own Yoka.
I want to say it was. I want to say was it Randy or something?
Randy.
I forgot.
Randy
honestly,
Smith. Randy Smith.
But they were very good to me.
What do you mean very good?
They loved
took out to dinner and then took it to third base?
And they came up to me and they were going to start doing shows in Las Vegas.
Oh, right.
And they were like, you know what, we want to hire you. And I started doing shows for them up in Las Vegas, and he would bring in, you know, like Sabu, bring the Hammer Valentine, and we would. And
this was before Sabu became before he blew up, right?
Yeah.
How you blow up?
Did you know at that time, like, this guy's a star when you first saw Sabu, or you're just another wrestler?
You know what? I pretty much I've heard of him already.
Yeah.
It was already getting established.
Yeah.
But did Sabu have a famous uncle?
God bless you.
The Sheik.
The Sheik.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
The
right.
Sheik. Just he.
I
And
put
at-
you
and
in
at
gumbo
that time
clutch.
too. I got to finally
Number
work
one Zoom.
Yeah.
with other referees,
Excuse me, guys. There's a guest here.
which
Please
which
pay
made
attention.
things a lot
Oh,
easier.
Yeah.
And plus, I always felt like I was still learning.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yokozuna's family, they were very good to me. You know, I would, you know, he would always tell me, you know, if I had some downtime, hey Pat, would you mind watching the kids for me? I mean, that was just the trust we had with each other.
Right. Wow.
How old were the kids?
But,
18 or or just under 18?
Hey, we have a guest.
Oh,
here.
sorry. Okay, Patrick Hernandez.
But yeah, I mean, I started traveling back east. You know, scared.
Where'd you go
Because
back east?
literally,
Literally?
it would hit me where, you know what? Do I really belong here? You know.
Yeah.
Give us one
I
memorial.
remember Dynamite D calling me, and when he
They found
found out that I was going to start traveling back east, I think it was to Boston.
Yeah.
And
Big
this
boss fan?
and this was for at the time, way before NXT, there was WWF had a dojo.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So
The
these
Funkin' Dojo.
were that these were shows
Inoki?
that would work with Killer Kowalski in Boston.
What was the name of the dojo?
WWF dojo
No. Oh,
I
yeah.
said the Funkin' Dojo.
or the Funkin' Dojo because of Dory Funk Jr. was the head trainer at the time.
Oh, wow.
When you mean
So-
when you say head trainer, what do you mean head?
That's another story.
Okay.
$50.
Cool, we have a guest.
Who was some of the talent at that time in the Funkin' Dojo?
At that time, they were developing Kurt Angle, Mark Henry.
Wow. So you met this
the
guy
Hardy
before.
Boys.
Wow.
These are like 91.
Yeah, around
Wow.
there. And they brought in some of the veterans to work with the guys that
Yeah.
they were developing. Jeff Jarrett was there.
So you met these guys before they were famous, huh?
pretty much. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you, sir, thank you.
Now, hey,
Thank you.
he's met people before they're famous. So now we're gonna
Tom
be famous.
Pritchard.
Shake his hand. Shake his hand.
Tom
shake his hand.
Pritchard was there too. Bruce Pritchard was
Shake his
there.
hand. Shake his hand. You want
Pretty
guys
much. Pretty much. Bruce
his
Pritchard was pretty much the booker.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe you have that touch making people famous.
Did you charge
But,
by the
uh,
hour or by the? Oh, Booker!
Oh,
sorry.
all in
Sorry.
the-
I heard something else. Sorry.
The fans can't be
But
Quiet, man.
yeah, I mean, they
I
threw
didn't.
me right out
That's the
there.
first time we heard this story. We did our research. We knew about you not getting trained by Danny Ramirez. Not true. We knew about you going with Yokozuna, now called Randy. We didn't know that. And then we didn't know you were out there in Boston. You met these guys that you didn't. Wow, that's an interesting story.
Did you know James Shadow Boone? The black guy?
Shh, quiet.
He had a show on the CRN Cable Radio Network.
The Shadow Man.
Oh, the
Shadow
Shadow
Man.
Man, yeah.
Came on
okay,
after D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
D
We
was
talking
the
about-
original.
we didn't
Actually,
do-
Shadow.
Affirmative action.
Where
They
did
got
he
Shadow
wrestle
in
at?
He, I don't, I know he wrestled. I just don't know where.
Wait a minute, we're talking about cable. What is that,
But
CRN? What is that?
he
Wait.
did when the
Steven,
XPW
sir,
was
what is
starting.
what is CRN? What is that?
The
what are they talking
Cable Radio Network.
Well, I mean,
CRN.
And what?
Dynamite D had his show on there as well.
He Dynamite D had what was it called?
What was it?
The
Square Circle.
Square
Yeah,
Circle.
Square
Oh,
Circle.
Wrestle Talk.
Oh, I don't know.
Wrestle Talk
Man, I
got a
just
new
got-
one. They got a new one that's called Wrestle Talk.
So Dynamite D had a show on the cable network radio, cable radio network.
Yes.
It was called Square Circle. And what do you do there? You just talk. Was it like a video or was it
It was a radio.
Radio show.
Oh, the
radio show on cable?
It was a cable access network, and at a certain time of the week,
I didn't know you're hiring him to tell you the story.
they would have
All wrestling.
all wrestling talk. Yeah.
All
And how you
wrestling.
throw your voice?
And
You can
that's
take this
actually,
too?
that's actually when you would find out the next Slammer show.
Oh, what?
So Slammers, of course.
So that's how you is that the way Oster Simone found Slammers through this cable radio?
Probably.
How many
That I
people
don't
know
know.
about that? How many? Did you know about the cable radio network? I did.
Well, I knew about
I know about podcasts, but I don't know about this.
I
cable
didn't know about that. I knew about
This was like podcast
CRN.
before. That was it.
CRN. That was it.
That
Yeah?
was a joke.
It was a
It's a joke.
It's a joke. He's busting your balls, man. It's not real. But,
Oh my gosh.
but why did not know that? We did not know about this cable radio thing that Dynamite D, huh? And how's his program? It was good. He talked about what?
Everything on wrestling.
Yeah.
All the promotions.
Did you know that, Grandbat?
All the promotions he would cover. WWF, AWA, WCW,
Wow.
everything. He covered in Slammers.
And it was Kayfabe Central.
Yes.
Hey, what does that mean?
I don't know. We're in it right now, so it doesn't exist.
Pretty
What?
much.
In kayfabe right now, so the word kayfabe cannot exist.
There you go.
I don't even know how I thought of the word.
That's
so lost.
actually really clever.
Why the fans are talking? I have no idea about what you were saying. Well, I didn't know that. Dynamite.
Did you
Dynamite
have a
guy.
favorite wrestler growing up?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, I actually liked Snuka.
Hey, speaking of snooker. Hey, Grandbat. Speaking of snooker, this was sponsored by Coke.
And mock knives.
And the sauce that really kills you.
Bomb.
You guys should try it.
No, our cameraman, Tristan. Tristan's still in the hospital.
Hey,
Don't
forget
waste
about
your
Jack.
money. Don't waste your
Don't
money.
forget
on-
about Jack.
Well,
Right back.
yeah, here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Just try a little bit.
Here's what happened. Tristan is in the hospital right now. He tried this, and it wasn't this that caused him to go to the hospital. The reason is that he was running down the street, and they called the cops, and the cops beat him, and now he's in the hospital.
Do you remember?
God.
Do you remember when this was a popular slogan? When people would say something was delicious, they would, oh yeah, that's the bomb.
The bomb. There it is.
There he goes. Thanks to George Hermosa.
TheBomb.com.
Someone's laughing all the way to the bank on that one.
They're like, I'm
So
gonna
they
hold
went-
on.
Someone's making more money than
Let's
all of
finish
us
with the
here.
guests. So then what happened? You went from SCC or Boston, and when did you come back to California, or how long was that for?
I was going back and forth like maybe twice a month.
So how long was
But
it? Years, 2 years,
every
3
time
years?
every time I would come back, Dynamite would call me, and he would tell me, yeah, we're proud of you, and learn everything. Learn, don't let anyone tell you different. You do your thing, and that was important to me. Very important to me. The support he had for me, and but even though flying back east, I was still doing shows out here.
Oh wow! And what shows you were doing? SCCW, right?
SCCW.
UIWA as well, right?
Yes.
No, SCCW.
That was out in Simi Valley. That's right. Wow. Yeah. And then of course XPW started, and then
You mean the $50 fucking shirts? Fucking Monchichi. I'll fuck you up,
That's
Monchichi.
$50 Canadian money. So XPW is like
0.1.
$30 American.
By the way, I found out Rob Black does not like the XPW 3.0.
Why?
It's XPW.
Question. Before
What
we
does it
move on to
say?
XPW.
What? It doesn't say 3.0, it says $50.
Oh, the fans have been calling it that.
So,
online.
so Dynamite D separated from Slammers, created SCCW, and then Vern Langdon. What did he just stay with Slammers, or did he create something else?
I believe
He created a pedophile videotape of guys in socks.
I think he closed.
He closed shop.
Let me Google that real quick, and I can give you a little history on Slammers after the
There we go. Somebody fired.
It did close down.
Stop it.
We're gonna open the floor to our studio audience right
we're
now.
gonna
the audience can't
It
talk.
actually did reopen
Yeah,
for a little
same.
while, and then
Slammers?
because of a specific wrestler that is blamed,
What's that
it shut
show
down for good.
after Price is Right with what's his name? Let's Make a Deal. And the audience is dressed up like cartoon characters.
Let's make a deal. We are
There
get to
it
talk
is.
only. You can feed the drinks. So then XPW, tell us how did the XPW come together? Excuse me, there's a guest.
So during the time of SCCW, actually SCCW nearly closed. And
What happened? Was time was up? It was 10 o'clock?
Yes, that's right. Past our bedtime. Dynamite D, I guess he came up to me, and he was stressed out, and he goes, you know what, Pat, I can't do this anymore.
Hold on, can I ask? Did you take your adrenaline?
Huss.
Did you take your adrenaline? Okay, you're saying?
So he was pretty much, I can't do this anymore. It's too much.
Who Dynamite D said that?
Dynamite D.
Oh, wow.
And then
About Slammers.
no
SCCW.
SCCW.
Oh, shoot.
If you were paying attention,
He was pretty much
Liquor
set.
cabinet.
You know what? Let's close it down. let's go our separate ways. And
Before
but
XPW could.
yes, sir. And I told him, look, we've got, and I will help you. I will talk to Kevin. Let us help you, but don't shut it down. And I mean, pretty much that was it. And then I got a phone call from Kevin Kleinrock when I was at work. And and Dynamite D called me, and they were like, "Hey, we have a meeting with Rob Black."
Who had a meeting?
You were paying attention.
Because the camera found asleep. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
So he wanted to talk business.
stop trying to kiss me, Redback.
He got a flyer
Stop showing my face.
for a show, and was like, "Hey, he wants to talk business. What do you think?"
Who's Rob Black?
Well, we did some homework on him, and Rob Black owned Extreme Associates, one of the biggest pornography movie companies.
I just wet my pants.
And he had Tom Byron with him as one of his partners.
Wait a minute, partners? Like partners? Gay partners?
I don't know about that one. But we ended up going to have dinner, and pretty much Rob Black presented what he wanted to do, his vision of wrestling out here in California. And since we've already been doing shows under SCCW, he presented an idea of, look, I think we can do different things with SCCW, and pretty much let's start all over. And that's pretty much when XPW started.
These guys pay attention, guys.
And pretty much he wanted to know what qualified us to be part of XPW.
Oh, wow.
He asked Dynamite D, what experience do you have in the wrestling business? And then he went to Kevin Kleinrock, and then he went to me. And at the time, I was already flying back and forth with the dojo with WWF, and then Rob Black presented his ideas of, he used to work with ECW, and he already knew some of the wrestlers already.
What is that? I don't know. What's ECW?
Do your research.
But pretty much that's how it started. We pretty much closed up shop with SCCW, and we started having meetings for almost a year. We got all the guys together from SCCW.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Pretty much we told all the talent that something big was about to happen, and that
Contracts.
Contracts and television, merchandise. Pretty much everyone needed to be ready for when all this was going to happen,
Who's everybody? Like who?
Talent.
How many
Can you name some
wrestlers
of the
were in
talent?
the roster at the time?
I forgot that.
Do you know roughly about how many wrestlers in the roster at the time when you guys crossed
Wrestlers on the roster.
Not their names, but just the number, like a rough ballpark, like 12,
maybe 25, maybe. Because you got to also understand too, at the time, SCCW had their own little nucleus of homegrown talent.
Yeah, nucleus.
But yet we had other talent from other promotions that were coming in to be part of it, and the roster expanded. So,
Well, do you remember who were the first guys you called for XPW?
The first guy.
Yeah, get my fucking wave, Red Bat.
Sorry.
Look at this.
We just gotta. Are we in the shot?
is this thing on?
No, we're on. We're live.
I got it.
The
I got
camera's
it.
gotta leave. Is everybody in the shot?
Yeah, go ahead, move my stuff. I black guys because they don't want to work.
Going back to your question.
Yes, everybody's in the shot.
Pretty much Rob Black.
Yeah, keep
asked
touching my
us
computer.
to
Sorry.
start
Try to steal my computer.
recruiting local talent who we thought could do the job.
Local
Pretty
like crazy.
Yes,
Oh.
that too.
Thank you.
That could be part.
Everybody,
of this whole
thank
new
our cameraman,
venture.
Mr. Tristan.
Well, I thought you was in the hospital.
Tristan T.
I came back.
He came back.
The Moonlight Leo.
Moonlight
Avery.
Leo.
And the rest is history.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you guys for letting me.
No,
The
it's okay.
Moonlight Leo.
So we never got finished. Oh man, bad stinks. Hey, I know it's good for your bad breath. Here, let's go for a bad breath.
It's called the bomb.
Call the bomb. It makes breath smell good.
Just try it. Not again. I'm not.
So, yeah.
So wait, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. Your turn. It's kind of interesting how. Hey, well, phone's up. It's kind of interesting how.
Yeah, my battery's dead. Thanks for taking so long. Go ahead.
Let's go charge it. So you were talking now about SCCW is basically going to fold shop, but then bam, right at the end you got a call from Rob Black because he got flyers at the Arrowhead Pond. Wow. So is this like one of the last flyerings that SCCW
Yes.
did? Wow.
Yes.
What timing?
That was it.
How long did you guys run as SCCW before it crossed over to?
Honestly, it wasn't that long.
It's not that long.
It wasn't,
Wait, talk about the show.
but I'm bummed. Probably about a couple of years, maybe, or a year, if
Okay.
that. Everything happened so fast.
Oh,
We
yeah.
weren't expecting that.
Right.
You know.
So far
to
that
have
long and
someone
fast.
that actually cared
Yeah.
and came up to us and say, "Hey, look, I want to finance you guys. I want to do something that no one's ever seen before out here in California. You know, this is what I can provide for you." I mean,
And who were the guys in the meeting? It was Rob Black, you, Kevin Kleinrock,
Thomas Byron.
Dynamite D.
Dynamite D.
There was also a editor for Gene Ross from AVN magazine.
AVN. Oh, I know AVN. My mom
And
has-
he was there.
My mom has
And
sponsorship
he was
with
there to
AVN.
document the meeting. But yeah, I mean, I think it was at TGIF Fridays or something like that.
Is that the guy that Gene Ross that got involved in wrestling through XPW, who they called Good Old Gene Ross?
Good old Gene. Yes, that's him.
Okay.
Good old Gene.
Gene Ross's barbecue sauce.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
So then what? So XPW, when was XPW first show? Where was it at? How was the outcome? And what do you remember about their first XPW show?
Patrick Hernandez.
Hey, he nutted.
I wanted
He nutted.
1999, I believe.
July 31st.
was the
Oh, how you know Grand
opening
Bad?
night.
Oh, you can read online. It's
oh, wow,
everywhere.
Patrick.
Opening night.
Was there a difference in the crowd size between the last SCCW show and the
Oh,
first
yeah.
XPW show?
It was crazy.
We're talking like a
Not-
90% growth, probably.
Oh, definitely. Opening night, I remember I had a radio.
I had a radio too, but my uncle stole it.
Rob Black's like, "Hey, I need you to go outside and tell me how many people are lined up."
Well,
So I went outside,
Yeah.
and the line just stretched up the street, across the street,
All up Sherman Way.
all up Sherman
Wow.
Way.
Wow,
Traffic jam.
What's
Police were out there.
Sherman Way and
Helicopter.
what was the
Reseda and Sherman Way.
Reseda and Sherman
But-
Way.
Wow.
but
Hey, why was the line
Darby
long? Was there
came-
6 feet for COVID or what?
There was
Wow.
no COVID
Yes.
back then.
Yes.
Was it?
Well, with you with the bat, there was.
Do you know how-
Other people.
Do you know how COVID started, right, Patrick Hernandez? This guy took a trip to China.
I had a one night
Oh,
stand
no.
with a Chinese girl.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that had a mustache. His name was Yoko. Oh no.
And then that was it. But then the thing
I
is,
woke
he
up-
went to go to Panda. He goes, "I love this food. I want to go get the real thing." And he went to.
Yeah.
And you can hear more about it on the episode of Extreme Memories with Patrick Hernandez right there on the Wrestling Chatter YouTube channel.
Get this guy out of here! Shameless plug! Get him out of here! Get him out of here!
Shameless, yes.
With Chris Kloss. Extreme Memories with Chris Kloss.
So
You didn't get fans of
I
don't talk.
radio in Rob and I told him about how big the crowd was.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe me.
Right.
He goes, "No, you're full of shit." I go, "I swear to God."
How many people
You have to do the impression.
900?
No, you're full of shit.
800? 700?
What do you see, Gargamel?
maybe 600, 700.
Wow.
How
That's
many?
a big number. 600,
How many?
700? That's a
Maybe
big number.
around 600 or 700, maybe.
Wow. Outside or inside?
Outside lining
Yeah.
up for opening night.
Wow.
Yeah.
This was what? 99,
Close.
98, 99?
99.
99.
And the debut show
Even
was
the
in
police,
Reseda?
even the
Yeah.
Reseda
Country
Country Club.
Club.
That's
The
right.
debut show was in
The
Reseda.
country club, what, is that still open? Or is it church?
It's a church.
It's a church.
You know,
Thank you,
know,
Echo.
you
Believe
know,
it or not, there's a lot of rich wrestling history there.
you know, incidentally, this is kind of a little side note and a little bit extra for XPW fan trivia. The first ever show was also the birth date of White Trash Johnny Webb.
Who's that?
July
didn't know
31st.
Uh-huh.
Interesting little
He was
tidbit.
born on. No, man, he was born on the same day, not the same.
Wait a minute, so the country club was a hospital?
Yes. After the show, yes.
Oh, wow, wow.
Thank you. I needed that.
And then for those folks who don't know,
back then, XPW was a big deal at the time, and like it was.
Why was it a big deal?
It got.
Was it considered another promotion, or was it considered like the next?
It wasn't just an. It wasn't an indie company. It was a real big company, you know, and which was a big deal.
Oh, boring.
Which was on
Here,
TV.
continue.
I remember seeing it on Channel 9 late night. I was a kid, I was a teenager in high school, and if you're a wrestling fan, you knew about XPW. And as being a little bat, I was a big. I wasn't a big fan, but I was.
Before watching the illegal porn, we used to watch XPW on KJLA. Remember?
Extreme TV. Huh?
Extreme TV, remember?
Extreme Associates.
Remember when your uncle caught us masturbating? Because the porno was like that, the way we were like,
Oh man, Black Bat, no.
Oh, no.
If you guys keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna spread some kind of virus that everybody's gonna get.
Yeah, we didn't believe him.
You're gonna get a shot.
Hot sauce on the virus.
So then what?
He said if you drink this hot sauce, the bomb, you're gonna start listening to
what is your
deep house and hip hop music.
what is your favorite memory of XPW?
Just the
Just
workers,
important?
the workers that were created
Workers like who?
by talent, the talent that was out here locally.
My uncle, he was a custodian.
that
He got
became
job there. He was
stars overnight.
Like who?
Like
Like
Homeless Jimmy and Dynamite D and Pancho Kila and
about that burrito guy?
him too.
Burrito Supreme.
Just the characters that Rob created and automatically.
So Rob
the
created
exposure.
these wrestlers. These wrestlers didn't create themselves.
Sure, why not?
No.
In your eyes, who was the biggest star at XPW?
I know that guy.
In the whole.
Chris Claus. Even though I hate him, I think he was a big
The
name.
biggest star in XPW. Are you talking about like the local talent or
Overall.
the talent that got
No.
flown in?
No.
I would say like who
Who was XPW's biggest star?
Who grew? Yeah, who was their biggest star? Who grew the most? I guess in the company, or who? Like you say WWF, you're thinking Hulk Hogan, right? Or you say WWE.
Who was the Hulk Hogan of XPW?
You say WCW.
Who was the Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Ric Flair of XPW?
I would have to say because he was the first champion is Damian Steele.
Okay.
I heard he was the real deal.
Yes, he was the real deal.
Did he have lobsters in Beverly Hills?
But he was the best.
Yeah, Wednesdays.
He was the best. He
The best.
pretty much.
Oh my God!
was the
Today's Wednesday.
flagship of our
We're having
promotion.
lobster. High five.
Really quick, I have a question.
High five.
Hernandez.
Yes, lobster.
I remember watching the first ever. I remember watching the very first.
Oh my God! They
ever-
shook Patrick. Hey guys, shook Patrick Hernandez's hand. Yay!
Oh, standing ovation! Wow.
No, he has a heart on. That's why.
Even better.
His little bat is starting to fly. Here, put the bomb on it.
By the way, you can hear much more about his experience on XPW on the Wrestling Chatter YouTube channel, Extreme Memories with Chris Claus, featuring Patrick Hernandez. And if you drink referee extraordinaire. And if you drink the bomb, you're gonna sing that song. Don't want no
Yes,
short,
I got a question. So
short,
we're
yeah.
taping this. We're taping this.
We're live.
No, we're live.
We are live, and those of you that watch it later on, it's good. This was a Wednesday.
Is this on pay-per-view?
No, it's on YouTube or
It's
okay.
on.
Yeah, Danny Ramirez charged you $50 to watch this.
This is
Fucking
OnlyFans on
I'm
Instagram.
sorry, guys, thank you.
Ah.
Okay, today's
All
Wednesday,
three of them,
right?
okay.
Live. We're coming at you live. Hey, I want to ask you, Patrick Hernandez, senior official of XPW. When I watched the very first anything home video of XPW, it was a video called Hardcore Conception, and you were actually involved in a little bit of an angle, being the heel ref with a little boink to the old nutaroos there. But
yeah.
I want to ask you this. A segment on that video, Damian Steele, pompous as could be, Beverly Hills, telling people to get out of his way. And he actually told this migrant, this worker that was doing a hard job at the restaurant, hey, today's Wednesday, pal, and every Wednesday is lobster day for the real deal. So why don't you jump on that moped, go down to the pier, throw a trap in the water, and bring me back a lobster. You got 15 minutes, pal. And when he left, the guy, Damian Steele left, the guy called him, and I quote, asshole. Do you remember that? Today's Wednesday.
Sure.
Today's lobster
Today's
day.
Lobster Day.
Yeah.
It's lobster.
So we're getting lobster?
No, but Damien was the top.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of the local
Wait a
guys.
minute, didn't Damian Steele train with that?
Let's get there. We're getting
Oscar
there.
Cesaro's cousin?
Yeah, we're gonna get there. But talk about, because Red Bat asked the question.
Yeah,
who was
Red
the-
Bat
Who was the
questions.
top of the bill, if you will, as far as the local guys? And you would say at the time was Damian Steele, the
Yes,
real deal.
The real deal.
So I got a question.
He was
Who
the
was
first champion.
Who were the top guys from XPW?
He was the first champion.
Who, Patrick Hernandez?
No, man. No.
Congratulations,
Oh,
Patrick.
thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, you were champ too?
Oh, thank you.
Hey, go
Thank you.
I can't tell her funny.
What the heck? Get studio audience. Get out of here.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to unplug the toilets? So, anyways, you're saying?
So what? Steel.
Damian Steele was the number one guy.
I heard he was the real deal.
He was the real deal. That's
Yeah,
right.
Why was he? What would he have the look? He kind of had that era, like the Triple H, the Shawn Michaels.
He was the homegrown talent that had it all, and Rob created that for him.
Did he ever
And he
move
ran
up?
with it because he was a natural to everything. The
Smoking.
wrestling ability, on the microphone. He was just entertainment.
Yes.
And it
Great
showed.
heel.
Yes.
Yeah,
and,
heels?
And
That was a wrestler.
but again, he was one of those leaders with
Yeah.
Supreme and Dynamite D.
Did he have a tag team called the Faction, or what was the team called?
The hierarchy. But let me ask you this.
Hierarchy.
You know what I love, Steel? He would whip the guy into the turnbuckle, and then he would make this big production. He'd cartwheel over him, he'd flip it,
And
then
then-
he'd poke to the eye.
That's right. A poke to the eye. That's right.
That was a very
It's the
innovative.
creativity of Damian Steele.
It sounds like when this guy has to pay the elote guy, he just pokes his eye and runs with the free elote. I'm telling you, this guy.
Not one, but two of them.
Yeah, two against two elote. Hey, why I got two? And he pokes him out and runs.
Do you remember the bullhorn idiot?
The bullhorn.
Remember the
idiot.
guy that hung out with ringing out to Guido? And he talked like this.
Guido
He had
was
a diaper
Guido.
on, and he would
This
go.
guy knows a lot, huh?
God, yes.
Yeah, the bullhorn idiot, Scary
Oh, my
Perry.
God. He's still around?
He's still around.
He's still around? That should be the next segment right
I'm
there.
gonna show you some Scary Perry stuff.
So, what was your greatest moment in XPW?
Meeting the bullhorn idiot.
Yeah, meeting Guido.
Oh man.
I want to say when we started doing shows at the sports arena.
The sports arena.
I agree with that.
You mean that old building that they knocked down? Now they're back there.
Yes.
Ah!
Yeah.
But we're part of history, though, folks.
Yeah, we got it with XPW. Got in there before they tore it down.
That's why you're called SoCal, the Godfathers of SoCal Wrestling, because you're part of history.
Can you
High five
explain
on
to the casual fan who don't know the history of the sports arena? Just give them a little taste of history of the sports arena.
Yeah, give them a
Just
little nut.
tons of history in professional wrestling.
And
Well,
all
It wasn't just
Name-
WWF. Exactly, all sports. Professional basketball,
Who, like who?
concerts.
original home of the Lakers
Boxing.
in LA.
That's right. Just the start. If you're talking wrestling, you're talking about like a very young Roddy Piper and Hulk Hogan and just
Then they
a
have,
rich
like-
history.
Did they start some like WrestleCade there with WrestleMania or whatever?
WrestleMania.
Starmania?
You mean WrestleMania 2?
And
Or?
on the
Wrestling Chatter YouTube channel, we have a show called Cali's Finest, where we talk all about the history of California wrestling, including stories about the Los Angeles sports arena. And don't forget, Extreme Memories with Chris Kloss, where we had this guy on, Patrick Hernandez, just about a little over a year ago, where they allude all about this cool, nostalgic history. The Wrestling Chatter YouTube channel. Subscribe!
Do it now. But
You get security. Hey, I read Beth's mom.
no, but
She's in the toilet.
but
You're like, she's in the toilet.
But
Oh,
do-
wait, she's in the toilet. This guy hasn't unplugged it. She's stuck there forever.
the first XPW show at the sports arena though that was, I think, that proved to all of us, at least for me, that look, we made it.
So, Sports Arena, they had some...
high five!
Right, high five. They had some WrestleCades there, right? Or whatever, WrestleManias? Starmanias?
Starmania
Yes.
and WrestleCade.
So you watched that on TV? Did you watch that, or were you on there when the WrestleCade come on?
WrestleCade 2?
WrestleCade.
What the world has come
WrestleCade
to.
is
W.
Hey,
that's when
yes.
WrestleMania met with Starcade.
The www.
.com.
So I had a live show there. Did you go to the live shows?
Yes.
Were you at
And now
WrestleMania
and then you go to the live show,
Just a little
and then you being part of XPW, doing a live show there. How did that feel?
Special.
Oh, dream
Very
come true.
special.
Oh, my cousin's special. We had to give him
It's,
some
and again,
acid.
it's like the thought
try a little bit, just a little bit.
of you know what, we made it,
Yeah.
and just
That's good.
feeling very proud for the roster
And it must have been awesome coming out.
that that was involved, including the
Can't see it.
referees,
Stupid elbow.
including
Sorry.
the referees that were part. We're part of a
Get
team,
off me! Get off me!
and that
Yeah.
was
Can't see.
that was a huge,
Ah, yeah.
huge event that I always remember.
So wait a minute. So how did it feel you standing? I'm guessing you stood in the middle of the ring and looking around.
No, I did.
And how did that feel? Like, damn it.
Had to be surreal.
How did that feel?
Did you
Besides
lose your
surreal. Let him say his own words. Damn it. Google another word. That's hard.
Did you lose your breath? Like,
What happened? You had asthma?
It kind of felt like, you know...
Out of body?
same word.
Give us your...
Like I couldn't believe that
Tell
I'm
us-
standing here right now.
No, right here. Of
That
course, you're the
moment.
Batos Lokos.
No.
Hey, high five. Batos Lokos.
Knowing that in a few hours
Yes.
we're gonna
Hey,
perform
Patrick Hernandez.
something big here, and you know it's a special moment. You know, it really is. It's like
If you want to cry,
it's like everything that, at least for me,
Yes, sir.
all the shows and wrestlers that I've worked with on the indie circuit, and then getting
It was
to
your
this
WrestleMania.
level,
It was
and
like
standing in the middle of that ring, it just everything came to me like wow.
so it's like your
like it all paid off.
Yeah.
it's like your WrestleMania, your own, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
said it right this
And
time.
plus, you guys were all on a journey together.
You guys
And
play
now
with
you're
Journey?
here on the bigger platform,
Absolutely.
getting your due diligence. you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean,
man.
Yeah, it is awesome.
And it's like you can't.
It's a big deal. Very big
That
deal.
have you ever had another experience like that? Which I doubt because you watch WrestleCade or Wrestle what? Cadeomania, and now you're here, like your own WrestleMania event. You're standing in the middle. I'm guessing it's one of the best moments in your life. I mean, you got married too, so it's got to say your second best married, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's got to be your second best. Come on, you got divorced. Your second best moment in life. Have you been there, right? So your second best moment in life is you being there at WrestleCade. The guy said that's your second best moment in life, right? And have you ever had, besides your marriage, have you ever had another moment like that with
The
wrestling?
third best was when he had a kid, and then that's third.
You have a kid?
The next one I would have to say, you know, of course there was the Olympic Auditorium came.
Oh, that's
After
right,
that,
huh?
The
You guys
Olympic
played.
Auditorium.
Was there a
Um,
Korean church at that time, or was it no
no.
Korean church? Was it a Korean church?
No.
Again,
Thank you for answering for the Patrick.
Jesus Christ, let him talk.
Going out to Philadelphia.
You went to Philadelphia?
Going out to Philadelphia and bringing this product into the territory of ECW.
Who the hell is ECW?
Philadelphia is all ECW territory.
Real quick, for those that don't
And here
don't
we
know-
are, a Cali promotion, XPW, invading their territory.
Can you give us a quick
And-
description of
and-
ECW was,
and-
please? Because some fans do not.
Let him talk.
There are some fans that do not know ECW.
Okay.
Seriously.
One thing at a time, man.
Some people do not know
Hey,
You
ECW.
want to know what the experience was, right?
Yeah, some people don't know
tell you.
ECW.
Hey,
Let me tell
ADHD,
you.
calm down. Hey, Ritalin.
ECW was Shane Douglas, the Dudley Boys, New Jack,
But what does it mean,
Paul
though?
Heyman,
He's getting there.
Eastern Championship Wrestling, Extreme Championship Wrestling. Actually, it used to be Eastern Championship.
Well, because they're in the East.
Now it's Extreme Championship.
Oh, they stole XPW's name?
Yes, yes, he is. So
That's
I
how
want to
Danny works
say going up to Philadelphia because when we were on that plane, just the talent in general, myself included, were just nervous
there. Yeah.
on how they were going to take us.
reception.
The reception.
Yeah.
You know, even when we landed and getting to the hotel and everybody,
No
everyone
threats,
was
nobody
just
threats,
nervous.
nobody,
Yeah.
no
Like,
threats.
You know, are the crowd is the crowd going to accept us? And then when we got to the venue, you could just feel the tension
Yeah.
in the dressing room where
You cut it with a knife.
you know, it's like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, but again,
Wow.
you look outside Viking Hall and there's a huge line.
Mm-hmm.
And
Did you already have ECW talent on your roster at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did. And I think it just built up more because we were in Philly
Yeah.
that night, and there was a few new faces that showed up, and
Wow.
but yeah, I mean, the fans chanting XPW. I mean,
Wow.
that
The crowd.
Wow.
They
that we
accepted you
belonged
guys.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were in Philadelphia, the big war of the cheesesteaks, is a guy like you allowed to pick Geno's over Pat's, or do you have to pick Pat's because your name is?
You know what? I don't like Pats.
Oh!
I don't like.
What about
Yeah.
Tony Lewis?
Tony Luke's right there? Yes.
You know, there's
Tony Luke's. If you're ever in Philly,
There's counselors.
What about
for,
the
you know,
cream
you can
cheese?
talk to you about that.
the Philadelphia.
Have you ever wrestled a match for Nails?
Hey, this is.
Hey,
What? You don't know answers?
speaking of Jimmy
You ever had a bad cream cheese? It'll get you pregnant.
Whoa, hey. And that's another edition somewhere, another segment.
so then what? So the first your moment at
I'm waiting.
SCCW.
I'm waiting for the other announcement for the wrestling chatter.
Well, I was gonna say thank you for having me, everyone. I must depart. I'm gonna take my Da Bomb hot sauce because you guys have too much of.
Wait, isn't he
too much-
paying
too
for
many
the
vaginas.
plugs?
Too many
He's not paying for the
too many
plugs?
vaginas here to try this.
I
Apparently,
never liked deep house music. So
the
I
guy.
wouldn't-
But yes, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. And the wrestling chatter.
There it is.
YouTube.com
Oh, yeah.
slash
There it
the
is.
wrestling chatter. Tons of great content. The more
There it
subscribers. I
is.
can't even say it. The more, how does he do it? How does Chris Kloss do it all the time? The more subscribers we get, the better. Wait, how is it? The more subscribers we get, the more content we can provide.
There you go.
Shows like Extreme Memories, Cali's Finest, Extreme Memories featuring this guy right here, and some other guy named Danny Ramirez, some
Ah,
other guy
fucking
named Juan
$50 guy.
Tastico,
Wow.
some of the worst reviewed,
Chris.
some of the worst reviewed episodes, but wait until the next
that?
one, which is going to be the
Oh.
worst reviewed episode we're
Oh,
ever going to
someone spit on a
have.
duck.
The Wrestling Chatter YouTube channel. See you later, everyone.
Yes.
The 15th and the 30th of every month,
Oh
Extreme Memories, and the 10th, Cali's Finest of every month. Stay tuned, everybody.
Someone stepped on a
Subscribe.
duck.
Spray out like a rain delay from a baseball game over here.
Did a skunk?
Daddy fucking breath smells, bro.
YouTube.com/the
Oh my
Wrestling
god,
Chatter.
your breath stinks, bro. So like
Go ahead,
fucking-
search
this is
YouTube,
live.
Google the Wrestling
Ah,
Chatter.
did you
I
eat-
promise you.
did you eat
like
ass?
all these
It smells like
XPW?
shit.
You like these
That is
XPW
gross.
Oh my
stories?
God,
Tune
fucking
into
disgusting.
the future award-winning
Well, that culo
Extreme
to walk
Memories
away.
featuring the man himself,
Well, that larga
the
to walk
voice
away,
of
shit.
XPW 1.0, 2.0,
man.
and
His breath smells
3.0,
like ass.
maybe even a 4.0. Chris
shit.
Kloss.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right, Mr. Ass smelling breath guy.
Hey, his breath smells because he's emulating what the logo looks like. The big mouth.
What,
open.
ass eater? Oh, he's still gotta get a sucker cock. Look at that big mouth open. Ah.
Now that George left, let's start the real show.
Oh, your phone's off, by the way.
Is it?
Uh-oh.
No, man.
So,
Well,
yes,
Maria-
Jack and Coke, yes. It's very
This is
good
my
for
favorite
you.
drink.
It's very good for
So now what's next for, so
From
what's
the
going on
bottom,
now?
from
What's
the bottom.
going on with you now? What XPW running? Now that we
XPW.
know that you're the number one rep, thanks for fucking Danny selling me a
It's-
$50 fucking shirt.
It's XPW now. all
Is
over
Rick
again.
Knox part of XPW?
He was part of it. He did some reunion
Well, but now they-
shows.
Oh, reunion.
and,
2.0.
There were some reunion shows, and yeah, he was part of it too.
That was XPW 2.0.
Yeah.
I have a question. For those of you who've seen the most recent XPW show, there was a segment in the main event where fans were throwing their chairs in the ring, and you were in there by yourself at that point, and you were getting hit by these
Where was
chairs.
this?
On the most recent.
What happened to
ECW?
Danny, that guy Danny? Fucking fag, you fucking went left behind you there?
I heard he.
Hey,
by the way,
I heard he made $50 and he
By the
went
way,
to
I'd
go,
like to
buy some-
apologize for using the word fag, but we thought we got
That's what happened.
that fucking shirt. And he sold it to me for $50.
So what happened? These chairs were flying. What was going through your mind? Were you thinking about calling the match? Were you thinking about?
I just didn't want to get hit.
Was it like the good
what
old
happened.
days?
It was the good old days because this is the second time it has happened.
And if
to
you
me.
guys want to know what I'm talking
Ever?
about, on my Instagram, one
What
of
was
my
the first
posts
one?
is the video
Terry
of
Funk.
this guy getting hit
and the
with
people
chairs. This was
Rivera,
like three, 4
with
weeks ago.
Johnny Webb, I think it was.
It never happened in Philly.
No,
Plus,
no.
here's one for the record. Speaking of records, Chris Kloss, well, we heard Modern broke a record, right? But also, you were the first referee to get cut, XPW. I believe that fat guy with the knife, with the fork, cut you. Or the guy with the herpes?
and the other guy.
The guy with the herpes, was his name? Or hepatitis? Sorry.
The
Sorry,
other-
wrong
with
disease.
with Sabu.
No, but what was that guy's name? Oh, Abdullah, the hepatitis.
I heard he
cut.
had a barbecue.
He got cut, right? Cut you up with a fork? And you're the first ref in XPW history to actually bleed.
Yeah.
Now, forgive me for asking, that's real blood?
What do you think?
I don't know, because this guy don't believe me.
I have a scar. I still have it.
Oh, my uncle's car too, but he died in Lion King. Anyways,
I got cut from here to here.
yeah.
I still have it.
This was from Abdul the Butcher. Did you get blood tested?
It was actually Sabu.
Okay. There you go.
Did you get tested for herpes?
Everything.
No, a hairpiece.
Herpes. Yes, that too.
So you're the first ref to bleed in XPW, and then the chairs. You're
He's not only the president; he's also a client.
That was funny. So what else? Any grandma questions?
So the chairs coming into the ring. Now you say the fans feel different from back in the day. Did you get a little bit of a taste? Did they feel a little bit the same from back in the day? Finally, once again in this era, when you guys were in Pomona.
A little bit, yes. I would say, yeah. I mean, the energy. They stayed to the very last.
How many
match.
hours was that show? 6 hours and. I heard it was 12 hours.
Probably 7 hours, 6 hours.
Wow. And was
It
it
was a long day.
Yeah.
6:43.
Because referees were disappearing left and right.
Yeah. Damn
Yeah, you had to bail a lot of these guys out.
Well, I heard that one guy didn't show up at all. That one, the median guy, the racist guy didn't show up at all. Not even to mention his name. And then Monchichi, what happened? He fucking went for some
I earned my
donuts.
stripes that night.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I have a question.
He barked too much.
What? Because he's a referee.
We got one talking fan, we got no talking fan.
So, in your illustrious career, Slammers, SCCW, XPW,
IWA. Wait, we forgot before.
wrestling,
After XPW, there was also Wrestling Society X. What was that?
WWF house shows. Before that,
You did porn too? Triple X?
no, before that, were you ever jealous of anybody in the business? Like, oh, that guy's above me, him? Oh, never had a.
no.
Not everybody thinks like
You know what?
Because I think there's a lot of jealousy in wrestling.
Probably.
Not when you're a
Honestly,
family.
I've never had anyone come up to me and give me problems.
But you never had those feelings for someone? Like,
I had a girl come up to me, but she was 7'4". She was on top of me.
It's a team effort.
Just a-
We're there to perform. All of us. We're all there to do a job. And
was there ever a wrestler that was like, you're like, man, this guy's a jerk. Like, he's just a jerk all around kind of thing? You don't have to say names, but...
it's
everywhere.
sometimes that people have a bad day.
Yeah.
It shows sometimes.
Right.
And I've been playing baseball for so many years, and yet, it's a team effort thing. You know what I mean? It's
Win.
that's right. Aha!
So,
you
there's
sound
an
like
I-
you played baseball
Yeah, you
before.
did.
But if you speak Spanish, there is an I in team.
Patrick, so you're back at XPW. Are you doing any other promotions besides XPW? Or would you consider doing any other promotions?
Maybe.
Because we have a phone call, the guy Labyrinth.
Maybe.
What's the guy Labyrinth?
Labarito.
Labyrinth,
And Pudo Rasul.
they need a ref. Will you be considered doing?
And the head of the Inoki Dojo.
The money's right?
Maybe.
Money talks.
People know how to get a hold of me.
Money talks, people will...
How do they get hold of you from behind your feet?
Both.
So Chris, so Patrick,
Cross between DPI.
we end the show with
Fujiyasu.
a famous question we ask everybody. What is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Wait, but before you say it,
In the
we're all
history
going to go through ours,
Yeah.
and then you're the last to go.
Yeah, we even let the fans talk because they don't know how to shut up. So, fan, are you a guy with
Mount
that?
Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore.
You know what that is, right?
You're
XPW?
top,
No,
your top
in the
four
history.
all-time wrestling history for you.
But now that kids are talking, they don't know what to talk about.
But it's the criteria. Like, okay, I'll go with.
Hey, if they
I'll
can
go-
do it for president,
Your
they
top
can
four.
do it.
I'll go with the criteria
Your top four.
of impact of
TNA.
No.
Oh.
Personal.
How the fuck you make it so complicated? You're
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore
Your
wrestling.
personal top four.
Stop analyzing me.
Ow! Grand Bat.
I'll say from first impression that I saw.
Oh my
this
goodness.
gimmick is I want to see more.
Yeah.
So I would say Muda. The great Muda.
Muda, yeah.
Stop me. You didn't stop me. That's weird.
I-
Come on, grab that
I'm
on top.
wondering why you stopped.
Go for it. Muda?
Oh, Great Muda.
Yeah.
In no particular order, just the Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Well, there's no particular, just a four.
Great Muda.
You said that twice already. There's 2 Great Mudas?
Can a tag team be 1 or 2?
There's 1.
Oh, good question.
No, that'd be 1 person.
Okay, so
tag team be one person?
Yes, one face.
Road Warriors, Legion of
Okay.
Doom. First time I saw them.
Oh wow, that's
Tag-
great.
First time I saw them, it was imposing with the
I think
spikes
my
and the
Mount
face
Rushmore might
paint.
change that.
No, you can't only put 1 person.
That's really
The first time I saw
can't put a president.
Undertaker, not
Undertaker.
Mark Ellis, but the gimmick Undertaker, I thought that was
You
incredible.
mean gimmick? That's real guy. Undertaker's
You know
real.
what I mean? The Undertaker
Yeah.
and Hakushi.
No, thank you.
Bless you.
Bless you. Hey, grab that. Hey, grab that. Wait, grab that. Hey, that was a joke.
That was a joke.
Okay, Grand Mount Rushmore. Wait, let's repeat his. Great Muda, Road Warriors, Undertaker, and
Hakushi.
your turn, Grand Bat.
Well, look, they're not going to put the weakest.
Oh my God, just put your
on
gun.
the Mount Rushmore. They're going to put the most prominent ones, which is what's up there basically at the time when they
Makes
built
it so
the Mount.
complicated.
So, I'm not going to put any Hakushis up there or Barry Horowitzes or anybody like that.
I
I'm gonna.
explain my criteria.
I'm
I
gonna.
stand
Yeah,
by it.
you're not gonna see William Taft up on the mountain. You're gonna see Abraham Lincoln. All right, come on. So
Tom, your name is fucking
you're not gonna see Herbert Hoover up there. You're gonna see Thomas Jefferson.
He
Right?
invented the vacuum though.
That guy's.
Hey, vacuum you. Hey, you're from
All right. So therefore,
If you
just
touch
like
that
hey,
boat, we're leaving.
just
Oh my
like
gosh.
just like the United States of America has the father of the country, the first ever president, George Washington. I got to put the father of wrestling entertainment, gorgeous George, up on the mountain. That's number one. Number two. Before we get to the second golden era of professional wrestling, which was the 1980s, we cannot forget the time in between the 60s and 70s. So we're going to go with Luthez. And then, come on, we got to face it, in the 80s, who was responsible for all of it? The guy who got canceled from this t-shirt. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
And number 4, that would be the third golden era of pro wrestling, the late 90s. And I got to go with to Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. Very good. So let's do the 4. It's Gorgeous George, Luthez, Hulk Hogan, and Stone Cold Steve.
Stone Cold Undertaker. Plus,
Oh my gosh. I guess mine is a little more biased. My top 4 all time.
No, not all of them with masks.
Not
He's gonna say Red Bat.
Red Bat. No. Number 1 would have to be the one that got me interested in wrestling was Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan got in twice. That's good.
Number 2, my favorite of all time, and this one's a personal bias for me. My favorite of all time is Sting.
He can be up there. He can be
Silver
up there.
Sting, not Crow
It's like a
Sting.
great Canadian president being on the Mount Rushmore.
Number 3, because Montastico,
Prime Minister.
friend over here with the mask over there.
That's what the fuck is that?
No, he's not here. Montastico's not here. His friend in the mask.
Cut!
Go for it, yeah.
Sorry.
Who cares if he knows
Jack
Fantastico?
Daniels. It's in my system.
Oh, yeah.
He brought in the tag team. Now that there's tag team that we're thinking about this, I would have to say the Steiner brothers. Because that would be my
Now we're putting tag team. So wait a minute. On Mount Rushmore, should you put George Washington's vice president? Should you put Abraham's vice president? with him?
We're not doing
Are you gonna put Clinton and Monica
All
Lewinsky?
right, well, I'll take out the Steiner.
Are you gonna put Clinton and Monica Lewinsky? No.
All right, no tag team. So all right. So I said Hogan, Sting. Then I'm gonna say Ric Flair because Ric Flair was the NWA.
Yeah.
He's probably the greatest.
Yeah, but Gorgeous George was first.
of all time.
Okay, go for it.
Hard not to put Flair or
You're thinking different now, huh? You're thinking.
And the last one for me, for the little guys, for me is Tiger Mask, number 1.
You know what that is? That's TJ Perkins, isn't it?
No.
Puma.
Oh, Puma. You're Puma.
Tiger
Ready?
Mask.
So once again, your four is
Hulk Hogan,
Hulk Hogan,
Sting, Ric Flair,
Ric Flair,
Tiger Mask.
Tiger Mask.
The number one, the first Tiger Mask.
My four Mount Rushmore.
Come on, hurry up, man. Why are you making it so difficult?
I forgot. Gorgeous George. Andre the Giant. El Hijo de, Santos.
Yeah.
And
Not the son, but the main one.
Saba Simba.
I'd say Hulk Hogan because it wasn't for
Hulk
Hulk Hogan.
Hogan,
A
yeah.
lot of people would not be wrestling.
And he got canceled from the shirt.
And Hulk Hogan's been on 3 of the list. So once again, it's Gorgeous George.
Where's George?
Why? Because without Gorgeous George, we wouldn't have Ric Flair.
Right.
Andre the Giant. He was the eighth wonder, the real eighth wonder of the world.
Yes.
Who's he going?
He was a real
Santos.
Santos.
So Santos brought in the mask
Yeah,
into
right.
wrestling.
Yes.
And he was the king of all
And
Mexico.
Hulk Hogan because we all wanted to fucking Hulk out.
Yeah, we all want to be Hulkamania.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, our special guest today, Patrick Hernandez.
This is an exclusive first time ever announced. The Mount Rushmore for senior official of the legendary Patrick.
And coming out of retirement for wrestling, back at XPW, and hopefully other promotions.
You'll be back June 25th, won't you?
June 25th.
Oh!
Perhaps.
Your Mount Rushmore, Patrick Hernandez.
Please!
We start at number 1.
Luthez.
Luthez, twice.
Wow.
Number 2,
We gotta go with Ric Flair.
Ric Flair.
Amen.
Number 3,
Blue Demon.
Blue Demon. Oh, number 4.
Before you do it, let's make the guesses on what do you think the number 4 was.
Okay, wait, what was the first one?
Ric Flair,
Ric Flair,
Luthez, Ric Flair,
and
and
Blue
Blue
Demon.
Demon.
I'm going with Hulk Hogan.
I'm gonna go with.
Why'd you do that?
I'm gonna go with
on, take it out of your
Bruto
head.
Sammartino.
Ah!
Um,
I heard that.
Hogan. I'll go Hogan.
Okay. You fell asleep, wake him up.
Mano Mano Paez.
And don't say Ricochet either from that fucking
Ricochet's my favorite wrestler.
No, you got.
from Mucha Lucha.
Take that back. My favorite wrestler.
When you have stains in your jacket, use a nail. It'll come right straight off.
Okay, now you can answer.
Oh, wait, what was his answer?
Luke Ricochet.
He said Stone Cold.
I said Stone Cold.
Oh, that's the Ricochet from the
what
Mucha Lucha
is-
cartoon.
That's my favorite wrestler.
Okay, go for it. So, number 4. Wait,
it's-
drum roll, everybody.
Earthquake.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay. Yeah!
And for everybody who doesn't like Hulk Hogan, something you gotta remember: when Hulk Hogan was on top of the world in the '80s, early '90s, life was good. Like you could just be happy, even if your life was, even if you're eating a bag of dicks all day.
Who told you? Damn it, why'd you fucking say something, Grandma?
Hulk Hogan beats fucking Earthquake. You're like, everything's okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Patrick Hernandez? We would love to have you back again as a guest because we still need to talk about the Monday Night Wars because XPW was part of the Monday Night Wars and we have to talk about where your futures are and what's going on around wrestling your
SoCal.
Yes.
And XPW, along with the Monday Night Wars, WWF and WCW, XPW had its own legitimate war with ECW.
The Eastern Conference Wrestling.
And we want to thank you for being on our show, being on our first live show. We have other shows that are on YouTube, but this is our first live show. And if you're not used to it, it's a chaotic show. And
Very chaotic.
And that's how we like to have it.
Lots of drinking.
And if you haven't
Lots of
done
drinking.
so, youtube.com/The Red Bat. Subscribe to that channel and check out all the episodes of Los Batos Lokos.
And if you want a tip how to enjoy the show a little bit more, you can drink with us, you can smoke with us, and whatever else you want to do besides that.
All I gotta say is thank you guys for having me here. I love everybody here. Support these guys. Support the show. If you're a wrestling fan, support these guys. Learn some history. And, again, thank you guys. It was fun. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Los Batos Lokos signing off.
So this